The UK government is to block plans that would make it easier for people in Scotland to legally change their gender. The original proposals are contained in the controversial Gender Recognition Reform Bill passed by the Scottish Parliament last month. But the Secretary of State for Scotland, Alister Jack, has now confirmed the UK government will issue a Section 35 order under the terms of the 1998 Scotland Act to prevent the Scottish Bill from receiving royal assent and becoming law.
Mr. Speaker, I have not taken this decision lightly. The government has looked closely at the potential impact of the bill, and I've considered all relevant policy and operational implications together with the Minister for Women and Equalities. And it is our assessment that the bill would have a serious adverse impact, among other things, on the operation of the Equality Act 2010.
This is the first time a Section 35 order has been issued since Scottish devolution was introduced by Tony Blair's Labour government in 1998. The decision puts the UK and Scottish governments on a collision course and raises the prospect of a constitutional crisis.
The Scottish Government brought legislation forward, we consulted on it, it was scrutinised, it was passed not just by SNP MSPs, but by 2/3 of the MSPs in that Parliament, backed by a bigger majority than many pieces of legislation, and it is being blocked and vetoed by a UK government. That's not a row, that is an attack.
The Scotland Act allows for the Secretary of State for Scotland to prohibit the Scottish Parliament's presiding officer from submitting a bill for royal assent if there are reasonable grounds to believe the bill is incompatible with the UK's international obligations, it poses a risk to national defence, or would modify the law on matters which are reserved for the UK government and Parliament, such as foreign affairs or defence. So, what happens now? There are several options open to the Scottish government. It could drop the bill altogether or consider tabling amendments that are voted on by members of the Scottish Parliament. But it seems more likely Scotland's First Minister will seek a judicial review and challenge the UK's decision in the Supreme Court. But it is clear the controversial bill has sharply divided opinion amongst politicians and campaign groups on both sides of the border.
I'll get that little piece of dandruff for